The Coaching Clubhouse Extra Shot.
Moving on just to one final question. When we were chatting before this podcast records, we got onto the subject of introverted people in business, and particularly line managers, leadership roles. You know, there's this sort of, legacy thing that we're all kind of shouting and being proud of ourselves and look how good I am as extroverted people. But actually, introverted personalities are there in workplaces. We know that is part of life. And actually, there's more resonance and more understanding, actually, I think. Well, certainly where I work, we're seeing that. And we talked about the brilliant book, which is called Quiet by Susan Cain, which is definitely worth a read. What have you been seeing about introverts in particular? How are they thriving in roles? What's your view?
I love that book. Yeah. And I think it's kind of the same with everything, isn't it? It's like, it's when they're leaning into who they are and what they're really good at, rather than trying to fight against it or kind of wish they were something else or something different. And I think it's hard, you know, as you're saying, I think it's harder for introverts as well, because I think extroversion is kind of the almost like preferred or more accepted or seen to be like superior way of being or doing things. And I know as you know, an introvert myself, I've often kind of looked at people and thought, oh, I wish I was more fun or more outgoing or could work a room better or was more confident or could think faster. And it's taken kind of quite a lot of work to actually embrace that and the different strengths. And I think when I was working with somebody the other day, actually leading a team, and she was saying, I want to be more, basically, how do I be more extroverted? What do I do? How can I be? And I was like, well, what strengths do you feel you can bring in that you can lean on as an introvert? And she's like, I never even considered that there were strengths to being an introvert. And I think that's just it. I think they're not the things also that are typically sought after, are they? Or like praised in terms of, you know, introverts are so reflective and observant and deep thinkers and very intentional and great listeners. And so I think when people are able to really embrace that and capitalize on that, that's where they really thrive. So I think that we can reshape what we think of as like typical leadership or success. And I think that comes from a lot of self-acceptance and permission of, actually, this is my way of, this is my preference, this is how I am, this is the way I do things. And I think we're really great with people too, it's just in a very different way. So I think it's when people are able to honor who they are, lean into like their humility, their empathy, all those other things. And I think that's where we see different kind of leadership thriving, where people have some, it's what it all comes down to, everything really, isn't it? Like self-acceptance and permission to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Visit the Coaching Clubhouse next time for more conversation about coaching, and listen to other episodes in the series wherever you get your podcasts. Discover more on the website at adrianlast.co.uk.